Out here with Chris Sloan and his special guest. Have you had any sighting of anybody who's actually seen this show so far?
Well, these people have, kind of right here, but we don't have TVs in our offices, so we really don't know. Anyway, that was awkward, but first off, we have this really cool piece of weather technology, and we have a special guest. This is Gene Rubin. He's going to tell us about why here at USA Broadcasting we have spent so many simoleons on the coolest weather technology around. Gene, why did we buy this thing?
Thank you, Chris. I'm from Weather Services International, and we have a system that is called Precision Cast, 20-kilometer resolution data. That's 12-mile resolution data. Output every 5 minutes. That's 16 times more data than the old models that most other people use. 16 times.
We can't even afford ties around here, but we're going to see if this fancy weather contraption is all that it checked up to be. But first off, let's see the current conditions right now outside. Woo, it's cooled down a little bit, 86 degrees, winds out of the east at 17, and the heat index 93, not as bad as it has been. And the temperature's looking okay everywhere else. You see a little popcorn showers. None of that really going to affect us, except maybe a less than 10% chance of it hitting where you are. Now, the neighborhood radar, again, it was a little active earlier, but right now we're living in the future, and who cares about that? Let's see what the national forecast is. If you're leaving in La La Land, Hollyweird, we got that June gloom, morning fog, which when you see the red letters on Los Angeles, that means fog delays. So if you've got an appointment with your agent or your liposuction surgeon, check ahead because you might not make it on time, and also it's shot at a little bit of rain in Chicago. Going down to sunny South America, remember it's approaching winter down there, so please be careful, take a jacket, it's a little cool, and you know, 79 degrees expected in Rio de Janeiro, but with the inflation rate, it should be about 355 degrees by the end of the day. Now, travel weather, again, the only, little shot of rain where we are, but again, Mother Nature is blessing us with a little ocean breeze, so we're actually the best in the state. Again, if you're going to Orlando, be sure to drink plenty of water before you go to the park because Mickey Mouse charges about $20 for a glass of water inside the park. Now, the neighborhood clouds overnight, it's going a little bit slow, but this is the cool thing. Watch these clouds. We're actually going to show you where the potential for cloud cover is, and boom, it's up near Homestead when you wake up in the morning, which means in that area about a 10% chance of rain. And again, Florida, the chance of a popcorn shower could be anywhere in the day. Again, not so bad by lunchtime, 89 degrees in Miami, 88 along the beach, with ever so slight chot of rain. Then 5 o'clock as we move towards the end of the day. You can see, again, the popcorn showers, pop-up rain shower. We have a better shot at that, especially in the western areas, but that's like 15%. Now, the boat and beach, well, RPF about 5,000 out there. It's going to be an that's a pretty violent weather index of about 9. And temperatures in the water, pretty nice, especially if you're going to Key Largo, 84 degrees. And if we can show you that 5-day forecast, it's looking like this. The button worked. We're going to have to actually pay Gene for his weather system. 89 degrees, the slightest chance for shower tomorrow afternoon. And throughout the rest of the week, pretty seasonal with a little bit of showers. And that's all outside here on Lincoln Road and back into the Glass Menagerie.
Thank you, Chris. And I have some late word from Mark Mooney that somebody actually did see the show. And they're very upset that I'm not selling cubic zirconium. Random weather fact, the Earth has a little fever. So far this year, it's been the hottest ever on record.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Wow, that's hot.
Isn't it?
But speaking of hot, the weather is heating up. The gods are going to be bowling tonight. That means thunder showers are in the forecast, and we're going to talk about that in a second. But first, Mr. Billy Bob with Out Loud. Well, the gods are strapping on those tacky polyester pants. They're going bowling, and what that means in weather speak is that means thunder showers tonight. We're going to take a look at those maps right now and show you what it's looking like. If you go to the radar right now, you can see that there are showers off the coast, especially in the northern part of the Keys, and this is just but a harbinger of things to come, so that 86 degrees is going to cool down a little bit, and we've got some exciting, cozy weather tonight. Let's take a look at the radar in the last 6 hours. The storms have really been active in Collier County to the west of us and in the southern portions of the county, and that green means rain and the red means heavier rain. In a moment, more on that. But first, if you're leaving on a jet plane and don't know when you'll be back again, 72 degrees in LA, and again, some fog delays, and if you're going out there, check with the airline, there could be some problems. Now, if you're going down to South America, place special attention on the word Rio de Janeiro, because we have special weather guests, and we're going to find out why that is so significant tonight. No real travel problems down there. A little cool down in Buenos Aires at 55. Now, here's the excitement. Look at all those showers popping up, especially along the coast. And those shower chances will be with us all strung out throughout the day and especially into the morning hours. By noon, they start clearing off a little bit, but the clouds will pretty much be with us, which means if you're going to the beach, never mind those 80s and 90s, it's going to be a little bit rainy. Definitely touch and go out there. And toward the afternoon hours, the 80s start to cook in, and pretty much the shower chance the rest of the day. Again, that's reflecting the boat and beach forecast. Partly sunny, afternoon storms. The surf temperature especially nice. nice down in the Keys if you're going to John Penna Camp at 84 degrees. And that button says, the button, ultraviolet forecast very high until there's rain. And the 5-day forecast, it is holy monotony, Batman, 90s and 70s. Now, coming back to me, I have a special weather guest, and these guys are from Kendall. And why are you here? What did you do to deserve this dubious honor?
I was watching the show last night and noticed that Rio de Janeiro was not spelt right.
Oh my God. Now for extra points, what else did we spell wrong?
Uh-oh.
Oh, we got a prize for you, and we're going. Give them the prize, and we're back into the studio. Bye-bye.
Chris.
Well, before we get on with tonight's weather festivities, I thought we'd give you a quick Orlando travel forecast vis-a-vis our meteorologist, Pat Robertson. It seems like we're going to have spontaneous plagues, locusts, frogs, and some combustions, and maybe some impotence and things like that. And that's what it's going to be like out there. But first, let's see what is happening now. The weather du jour currently outside. Thank you. We're trying to do the weather. 85 degrees. And you can see folks to the west out in unpopulated western Dade are seeing some pretty stout activity, especially in the northern Broward, northern West Broward and Dade area. It looks pretty severe out there, but luckily not really any problem affecting us. And as you can see in the radar loop in the last 6 hours, only a bunch of forest rangers and alligators have really had any problems with the storms, except up in Broward briefly. Now the clouds, it's a pretty typical pattern. They're going to start to clear out overnight, and then in the morning, the marine layer makes its approach, and we have that slight chance of rain in the morning, and by lunch hour, in the noon hour, you actually start to see the clouds pretty much hanging in there, and it is the afternoon, so that means thunder showers and storms and that type of thing. Now the 5-day, actually the 5 p.m. forecast, again, afternoon, a little more of the thunder boomers, a little more snap, crackle, and pop, 20, 30, 40% chance, and that's the way that looks. And the boat and beach, if you dare go out there, if you hear the sound of bacon sizzling, remember that is your skin because it's going to be a scorcher out there. And as Led Zeppelin once said, as we look at the 5-day forecast coming up here in a second, the song remains the same. Monotonous weather, hot, sticky, miserable. And from the street in Lincoln Road, we're going back into the studio. And again, be careful with Orlando because the weather up there, hell. Back into the studio. Amy?
Thanks, Chris. And Chris Sloan, tease me.
Hey, yo, we're here with the Weather Posse. What's up, my brothers?
Hey, what's up?
How y'all doing? All right.
All right.
We got a little turbulent weather here in the house. Well, that in just a second. But first, we got Audi 5000 to the break. Weather music that I hate. Anyway.
Chris Sloan is here with the weather with attitude, if you haven't noticed.
We got the weather in the house, but actually there's been some turbulent weather a little bit. If we can go to the radar real quick. We pay a lot of money for this. You can see
there it is now.
In Technicolor now, look at the last few hours. You know this Technicolor glory, which means is there actually, oh, well, we're not going to see that, so just don't move that travel forecast while I tell you about. In Pembroke Pines, actually, there were a few tornadoes, funnel clouds noticed in the air. Thank goodness they didn't touch down. There was no sign of flying cows or Helen Hunt or mobile home damage or anything, so good shape there. Now let's go back to the travel weather. The good news is a lot of this stuff's going to start moving out of the way, but first the travel weather, it's actually a little bumpier, coincidence enough, than it has been the days past. A little showers could mean delays up in New York, Seattle and LA too could encounter some delays. And if you're going down to sunny South America, it looks pretty good, as they say in Brazil. Tudo bem, 74 degrees in Rio, 52 in Buenos Aires, which I think means good air, but if you've ever been there, you know that's not true. And 61 degrees in Santiago. And the statewide travel forecast, fortunately, as you can see, Orlando is still on the map, 96 degrees, waiting at certain Armageddon, but so far right now, so good. 92 degrees in Miami, pretty seasonal with those afternoon showers. Now, if we can see that boat and beach forecast, but first, those neighborhood clouds. The storms that have been affecting us so far are going to really dissipate in the next coming hours. As a matter of fact, we have the all clear sign, and as we go to the lunch hour, again, no problems until the afternoon. If we can see that lunch hour again, we're doing it with no hands today. The skies look pretty clear and unthreatening, except again for that on and off chance of afternoon showers by the afternoon. Again, let's hit 5 o'clock, and let's just keep on rolling while we're at it to that boat and beach forecast. And oh, it's for the attention deficit disorder people. It went by pretty quickly there, but again, looks pretty good. A nice day for the beach. And now let's go to that 5-day forecast into the future as we scan through. It looks like this. 92, 70s, ditto, 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 all the way out with a little bit of rain coming over the weekend. And back into the studio. Bye-bye. I try to read a lot. Yes, it's me, the Lost Spice Boy, Weather Spice, and when we come back, I'm gonna tell you what you want, what you really, really want, what you really, really want to hear. But first, Mr. Bill, oh no!
It's Chris with his obsessively spice-filled weathercast.
Excuse me, I'm Weather Spice, your anchor Spice, and Thrice Spice, who are you?
I'm Sicilian Spice.
Now, Sicilian Spice, how would you sum up the weather in, say, one verse?
We're having a heat wave, a tropical heat wave.
Yeah, woo!
The temperature's rising, it isn't surprising.
Thank you.
She certainly can.
She's great.
Can't
That was
give
Veronica,
up.
our interstitial hostess with the mostest. But you probably don't know what interstitial means anyway. Anyway, let's see what it's like outside right now with the weather du jour. 87 degrees outside, winds out of the south-southeast at 10. And as you can see, the only real weather to speak of is out where the alligators and bingo players are, out in Kendall, 91 degrees.
What?
And let's go out and check that if you're going on an airplane trip. I actually had a little number for you.
Come fly with me, let's
Yes,
fly,
it's karaoke
let's
weather today,
fly
folks. 75 degrees if you're going out to LA. That little musical ditty, courtesy of Ira, our musical director. 91 Atlanta, the only real trouble spot, and 69 degrees in New York. But the real trouble spot there for travel is if you actually have to take a cab into the city. Now, if you're going down to sunny South America, let's see what that looks like. You know, remember it's winter down there, or approaching that, so 52 in Buenos Aires, 59 in Santiago, and of course in Lima, 70 degrees. So that's what that looks like. Orlando, surprisingly, you know, in spite of what Pat Robertson said, is still on the map with 97 degrees, 92 degrees in Miami, and up in the north, 94 in Pensacola. So again, as David Bermwent said, same as it ever was. Now let's see what's going up with that cloud forecast. Again, there are those showers slipping. Remember, where you see green, that equals rain, and that is going to be, again, out of our area. Again, if you're going out to play bingo, you might get a little sopping wet, but other than that, no problem. And let's stop it right there for noon for a second, because I want to point out our new station innovation, and that is, it's weekend. You're going down to the Keys, so we actually show you what it's going to go down, what it's going to be like down there in the Conch Republic. And a little weekend event forecast for you. The Humane Society is having its feline frenzy, an opportunity for you to adopt a cat. And it's going to be 87 degrees out there, so call the Dade County Humane Society if you want to be really nice for animals. Now, let's get back to that weather thing in just a second. Oh, we don't have any more time, but you know what? It's always the same around here. It always will be. Hot, sticky, disgusting, but go to the beach anyway. And let's go back inside. Oh, we've got another second. We're done.
Thank you, Chris. And thank you for watching our first week on the air. All right, Chris?
That's
The
me.
other Chris. The other Chris.
That's
There
me,
you
that's
are.
me, that's
I always
me.
get you guys confused.
Oh, well, the resemblance is so striking, Amy.
I have
It's
that
an
not-so-fresh feeling.
Yes. Ooh, so do I. Good Lord. We're going back into Bill Tech to see what's coming up after the weather on Out Loud. Yes. I don't even think they heard that.
They didn't?
They didn't hear
It
it.
was so witty and so wonderful.
We had a cool piece of music planned. We'll get to that in a second. But first, it's so hot outside
How hot is it?
that I just saw a rollerblader going down the street with a radiator up his... I can't say it on TV, folks.
you
They're
can't.
trying to get me fired out here. Doesn't that suck?
Man.
It is true. We are having a heat wave. Let's go to those maps right now and just tell you how hot it is. Oh my God, 93 degrees. The heat index was 102. Now, 102 degree heat index is really miserable, but if you stop to think, the hottest temperature it's ever been in Miami is 97. We broke a record today. It was 94. That broke the old record, 93. I had a record to break. It was going to be special. We couldn't do it. Now, if you are leaving on a jet plane, don't know when you'll be back again. Sustain. 65 degrees in grunge country in Seattle. A little bit of delays there. And in Nueva York, again, if you're trying to take that cab into the city, just pray real hard because you probably won't get there. Now, the travel weather for the South America, again, 59 degrees in Buenos Aires, 55 degrees in Santiago, and it's worth the trip just to go see the toilet water run counterclockwise down in South America. For me, it's always worth the 14-hour trip. Now, the state travel forecast, a little bit of rain up north, a little bit of sun down south, but again, hot, hot, hot everywhere, so it's pretty much the same old story, burning like a heat wave. Now let's see those neighborhood clouds. In the morning, again, the sun is out, it's shining, we're burning, we're boiling, it's the same thing, hot in the morning, hot in the afternoon, ditto, 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 on the way to 5 o'clock, more of the same. And then the boat and beach forecast. We pay a lot for these fancy graphics, so let's take a good look at them. Again, it's pretty much the same thing, 80s everywhere with an 85 degree in Marathon. And I don't hear my Bananarama song, so I guess we blew that, but that's just about it. And 5 days in the future, as they say on Telemundo, caliente, caliente, caliente para toda la semana y muchos más. And that's the forecast out here. Hot, 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 any way you like it. And now back into the studio. Goodbye.
with the weather. What's up?
Well, it's hot. It's sticky. It's sweaty. Of course I'm talking about the weather. Get your minds out of the gutter, people. It's the weather. It's the fast weather. I've only got a minute 30. Let's see what's going on out there. Right now, 87 degrees, hot, sticky. Just like I said, again, it's nothing sexual. It's about the weather. 97 degrees, the heat index. And this, if you dilate your eyes and watch this, it's like really, really cool. I mean, it's really trippy. But this is the radar, and what the red means is that over Kendall, we had some pretty severe thunder boomers earlier, but that's all going to dissipate later on, as is the pattern. Travel weather, if you're going to LA, 74 degrees, the only real problem with the delay, and you can hear a jet overhead. And if your luggage is going to Seattle, 68 degrees. Now, if you're going south to South America, whether on business or being deported, no real travel problems down there. And then let's see what that next map looks like. And boom, there it is. Man, I'm sounding like Warner Wolf, if you know who he is. Tomorrow's travel, 90s everywhere, more of the same as it ever was. And then let's see those cool Dade and Broward maps, and it's nothing, absolutely nothing, no clouds, no nothing. And then at noon, still nothing. My job is really unimportant today. 90s, pretty much nothing, a little bit of rain later on in the afternoon, and then here's that boat and beach forecast for all the people that have no time, and there it was. And then finally the 5-day forecast, again, as David Berman said, same as it ever was, same as it ever was, same as it was. There's absolutely really nothing going on with the weather, and that is why I am absolutely kind of like, that's why I have to resort to cheap things like sexual references, because the weather's absolutely boring. I'm like the Maytag repairman of weather. And so that's about all we have here from Lincoln Road. Now they're telling me to slow down, so I'm going to talk real slow in 3 seconds. Bye.
And Chris, messing around with the weather. What's going on?
Well, Amy, around here the weather is a bit bipolar. A little bit of rain and a little bit of sun, a little bit of rain. I'm going to tell you about what that means coming back on Weather Times. But maybe I won't. But maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Weather Times coming back. Miami.
Walking on sunshine, as if.
Well, Katrina's a little bit optimistic,
I should say so.
Katrina doesn't do the weather, I do.
That's right.
So enough of that.
Okay.
Enough of that. Let's see what's going on outside, shall we?
Okay, let's.
Right now outside, it's that standard weather MO. We're talking rain and storms throughout the area. As you can see on neighborhood radar, Kendall got smacked with it pretty bad earlier, but right now the only real people that are getting wet are the Mickey-Sookies who are getting Mickey-Sokied. And now let's check the travel forecast for you as we take that big bird outside of the city. If we can hit that button. Not going to work today. Let me tell you about that travel forecast. We're going to come back to me for a second. If you are traveling outside the city, the only real travel delays are 74 degrees in the lovely LA area, and there you can see it right there. So the only travel travail is really there. So if you're going out to LA, check with the airlines. You could have problems there. And then statewide travel and down into South America, no real problems there, except it is chilly, approaching winter, 55 degrees in Buenos Aires, 50 degrees in Santiago. And statewide, thank goodness we have a little bit of relief. Some rain coming down to us in the south, and maybe in the north, a little bit of sun. And that's about all we have for the weather right now. We'll get the 5-day forecast for you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Stand by. Well, right as we left you at 7:27, we received word that a tornado, a funnel cloud actually, had been spotted about 4 miles north of Key West in the Pigeon Key area. And the weather, again, very, very dicey down there. The storms continue to move toward the west, which meant until 8:30 this evening, the National Weather Service had posted a special marine advisory. So again, the all-clear sign is not out yet for the Keys. Still some very severe threatening weather. And it has been a very rough afternoon down there. Actually, around 3:15 this afternoon is when the tornado passed over the area, and again, has not been verified as a tornado, but certainly very, very high winds, and many witnesses say it was a funnel cloud, so that's actually the way it looks. You can see it right here on the map at around 3:50 is when the storms really popped up, and that is what triggered that. Mercifully, there has been no injuries or anything like that associated with it, but there has been some damage. It started in the Winn-Dixie parking lot, as Amy told you earlier. So hopefully things will start clearing out. It's ironic, you rarely see that kind of weather down in the Keys, usually the driest part of the state. Anyway, that was the neighborhood radar again. We'll kind of glaze past that because that's not the main story again. Most of the severe weather concentrated out into the unpopulated areas of western Dade. Now, if you're traveling, you know, actually might be a good time to get out of Florida right now, being a little bit rough right now. 70 degrees if you're going to Los Angeles, but the fog delays could delay you going into LAX in the afternoon. And Seattle, 66. Again, it is that rainy season there, which happens pretty much all the year in Seattle. And if you're going to Denver, take your iron lung with you. Again, 90 means it is pretty hot and bad air down there. South America, though, things clearing up. Decent weather down in Rio, 70 degrees in Sao Paulo, but a little cooler down the southern portions of the continent. And now let's check out the statewide travel. The storminess, we're in the tropic zone. Very typical pattern, 91 Palm Beach, 92 in Miami. So again, those afternoon showers impacting us throughout the day tomorrow and probably for the rest of the time. And then in the morning when you wake up, temperature around 80 degrees in Miami, 81 on the beach, 78 Coral Springs, again, more the same. And then noon, not warming up that much, but still hot enough to be that time of year. And then at 5 o'clock, that afternoon shower hits you. And if you're going to the boat and beach, again, those showers are a possibility, as they are every afternoon, but the surf temperature is looking good. But again, it is that time of the year for severe weather. So if you're going anywhere, especially this time of the year in the late afternoons, please keep your ears tuned to the radio, to us, to television, that type of thing for severe weather advisories, because at this time of the year, you never know when those severe storms are going to pop up from the area. And that's all we have from the weather right now, and we'll see you later. Good night.
And Chris, I think you have some friends.
Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, today we're going to introduce you to the aspiring starlets, stormlets that is, the Hurricanes are joining me in a second on the weather. Back inside for Bill. Or maybe not.
No, Bill.
Here I am. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Little headbanger. I was watching Spinal Tap before I came in this morning. Today, we're introducing you to the first 6 aspiring wannabe Hurricanes of the season. And let's meet them now.
There's been a misunderstanding. I'm actually El Nino.
All right, I'm sorry. You're gonna have to ask you to leave. Your work's done.
I'm Bonnie. If you want to be my hurricane.
All right. Okay, wait, special?
Hurricane Charlie.
Now, wait. Don't let that fool you. He's a lot of trouble. Don't let that fool you.
I'm Danielle.
She's a little depressed, tropical depression, if you ask me.
Hurricane Earl, and you can watch us swirl.
And lastly,
I'm Francis. When I hit town, I'm going to be your worst nightmare.
All right. Out of here. We don't want you. Vamonos. Vamonos. Bad hurricanes. Go bother Bermuda. Leave us alone. They wear ugly shorts there. All right. What this very bad metaphor means is we're going to be talking to you in the weeks to come about hurricane kits, and that was just a really ridiculous way of introducing you to that concept. Outside right now, let's see those maps. And that radar, again, more the same. The storm's really affecting those of us in West Broward and over into Monroe County. Nothing really bothering us right now. Oh my God, I think that was the Concord and the travel weather. 75 if you're going out to LA, 75 Seattle. You know, hope you're not going on business on the weekend. If you're going down to South America, more the same. 81, very pleasant in Rio. And as we look at the state, the boating and beach report tomorrow, here's that magic button for you. Let's take a look at it. And there it is, statewide travel tomorrow. Oh my God, call the ARC. Pretty much a good shot of chance rain everywhere. And remember, again, we had problems in the Keys yesterday. There could be the opportunity for water spouts again in that area. So if you're going down there boating, please take it advised. And in the morning, pretty much the forecast you've seen for the last 2 weeks. 70s and 80s, hot by noon, sticky and sunny and that kind of thing. And we're out here on the mall, and it's going to be a pretty nice weekend for you. And we'll have more on Monday with the Hurricanes. Bye-bye. Have a good one.